Hi, crafters, and welcome. So it's Roxy, and today is Sunday, December 6th. And let me tell you, it is still cold here in the Chicagoland area. Freezing. Oh, my Lord. Anyway, oh, my camera keeps moving. Sorry about that. So let's talk about this bundle. And I'm also going to talk about what's going on in the upcoming year. Okay, so for right now, I pretty much focus on Stampin' Up because I've been associated with them now for over 27 years. Yeah, I think so. Going on my 27th year. And so I usually focus on them. But lately, it seems like I'm buying less from them, which is good for my wallet, but bad for my wallet because I'm discovering other companies. So I think going into the 2026 year, I'm going to feature probably mostly Stampin' Up, but I'm also going to put in some of my other favorites from like Gina K Designs, Tailored Expressions, Simon Says Stamping, things like that. But if new stuff comes out from Stampin' Up, of course I will feature it so those of you who like Stampin' Up can see what's new and coming up or out there. But yeah, I am going to diversify a little bit into other companies that are catching my interest right now. Okay, that was enough. All right, this is Hope, Joy, and Love. It's $1 million sales achiever, Evie D. Piazza. It is a 14-piece stamp set and a 12-piece die set. Now, I liked the price on this. And the reason why is that you have a pretty good size stamp set, but your dies are a little bit on the smaller side, which is fine. Love it, love it, love it. But that's why, because that affects the pricing. Because we all know that dies are what are getting jacked up all over the place with pricing, tariffs, what have you, all of that stuff. Nothing political, just stating a fact. If a die is in a set, it's going to be a little more expensive. So, 14-piece stamp set. And I love the fact, there, showing you again, 14-piece stamp set. I love the fact that they are photopolymer. Everything's going to be photopolymer coming up in 2026, unless it's a set that's carried over, because Stampin' Up's not making the what we used to call red rubber, clear mount. Everything's going to be photopolymer, pretty much. All right. What you have to be careful though with this set is they have these little spanning areas here. So if you're not careful, you could really, I don't think, because you know, photopolymer is pretty strong, but that's not a lot of area in between those letters. So just be careful when you're peeling them off. And I feel a sneeze coming on. Sorry about that. All right. So let's get out my longer blocks because we're going to go over these. All right. So let me grab that out. Let me grab out one of my little layers that we can stamp on. And I'm going to do these in different colors. Now, let me grab these out. I'm going to focus on these 5 colors because these are the in colors that will be retiring at the end of April. And I mean, I'm all right with it, except I really am going to miss my peach pie. I really like my peach pie, especially since Mango Melody or whatever that was called went away. This is the second time we've seen Pretty in Pink, so I'm pretty sure there's probably a color refresh coming up, and you might look at that getting put in there. I don't know. I have no idea, but I'm just saying. So let's go ahead. This is probably one of my least used ink colors, Summer Splash. You know, I'm not a blue person. Blues and greens, usually, except for Old Olive, You know me and Old Olive. I don't use a lot of the blue spectrum, which is sad because they have their purpose. But to me, this blue almost feels green. And you can see I did a bad job inking right there. I moved it on my glass board. So there's that. Let's go on the other side. You know what? Let me get... With these, I got out my old scrub, Stampin' Scrub. This is a couple years old, probably more like 10 years old. So it's not the exact scrub you'll see out now, but it is close. Again, I'm peeling up by those letters. I'm not putting a pressure on that bridge. All right, so let's go to the next one. This one is Joy, so I'm going to pull off that. Pull off that J. I'm just going to use the same one. Same block, same color. So there's that. Again, let me clean it off a little bit. Peeling off by the letters. And then we have Love, which is right here. On this one, I really like peeling from the V itself. To me, it felt like that gave me the most stability. There's that. All right. So in this set, go ahead and peel off by the letters, remember? All right. So in this set, you have the O, which you can put in each of these and just have your regular words, right? So let me close up this. Let me get out a bunch of my little A size, and I have a few others that I bought at one point. So let's go ahead and get these out, and we'll do these in a different color. So let's do Hope. Let's go ahead. We'll stamp. And I'm not getting my head in my shot, so it may not be perfect. But there's how the O looks, right? But we have other fun things you can put in there. We have a star. I'm going to put the star down below. So I'm going to stay with the rounded ones up there. But there's the star. You have the earth. So the earth, let's do that in Shy Shamrock. Another one of the in colors that I haven't used a lot. So let's put, I'm going to put the world down there. Let's go ahead and let's, you know what, I'm just going to open these up, leave them here. It's not so hot and humid. These will dry out. They'll be fine being left open. All right, so here's the heart for that love. Here is a ribbon, which I really like because you can do it in any of the colors. Oops, my lights are really fading that out, sorry. I like it because you can go ahead and be done in any color. All right, we have a few more. We have a snowflake. go ahead and do that. And the Petunia Pop. We have a dove and praying hands. So let's do the praying hand. Oh, that's the dove. Sorry. You see it? That's the dove. You know what? Let me see. Let me come in. This always scares me because I always go the wrong way. There. You can see that a little better now. That pretty in pink is still really light though. So that is that. And then on the other side, I'm going to do the praying hands. I'll put them down here too. How about that? So we have, you know, something we could put in there for that joy. Then we also have some words. All right, let me see. Let me just grab out a scrap here. That doesn't feel like basic white. It's a little bit different texture, so it must be from one of my many other purchases. All right, so let's go here. Fill the world with, it's a good saying. And then we have a couple other little smaller ones. This can go on this block. So much. And this last one, which I've used, so hopefully I cleaned it off good. Wishing you. All right. So let me go ahead. I'm going to put these pieces down here. So there are your words and the different centers you can put in them. These are your solid words, and here's your accessory words. Okay, let's go ahead, cover these up now. Okay. All right. All right, so those are all shut, looks good. All right, so now we're going to get to the die set. So that was the 14 stamps, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's your 14. Here are the dies. Another thing I like about the dies is I can use it with my baby, with my mini. So let me bring out my mini. Oh, my phone cord is stuck in it. All right, so here's the mini. Let's go ahead. We're going to cut out the ones we can out of this. This may not work. Yeah, we'll need to cut it down just a little bit more. Let's take off those strips. And let's cut up from there. Because the big words don't have dies, but they're easy enough to cut out. You know, not a big deal on those. All right, and I am going to do these one at a time because you know how my video went a couple weeks ago where I tried doing too many at once and it kind of went bad. All right, so here we have the dove. Bring this up a little more so it's centered. So that dove I did in the peach pie, so it's kind of light. Come on, there we go. All right, and I'm not going to tape these down, so hopefully, you know, I will tape them down. So I may want to use them on my examples. But I'm not getting my head in the scene, so more than likely they won't be lined up perfectly. Peel at the diagonal. There's the dove. You can see I was a little off of that. Get that, put it over here. So that's the dove. Let's get the snowflake. So the snowflake is here. Again, I'll hold it up. How about that? Let's see if we can do it like that. So you can see what I'm doing. So I'm making sure that the points, those round parts, are inside the die. And I can see all of them. So that looks pretty good right there. Oh, it just moved, didn't it? I've had these tapes on here for a while, so, and moving it down, I don't like doing that. So let me just go here. Again, I'm just going to try to make sure all of those little circles are somewhat showing through the die. Again, I was a little off because I'm not getting my head in over. Alright, there's the hands. You know what? Let me just get, even though I hate using the blue tape, sorry, oh, I can't. Can I get to it? It's above my camera here, so it's going to move the camera. Sorry. I have it over my mount. There we go. So let me go ahead, do a little, to get a lot of that tackiness off. And then I'm going to do it in little strips, because then it's less likely to rip your paper completely. All right, so let's see if we can get this. See there? It looks like I have my hands. See how there's a little bit there? And I'm going to push that just a little bit there. I'm going to put that down. See if this one got a little bit better. Oh, and put that over there. All right, still a little bit off, but I refuse to get my head in the camera shot, because I don't know about you, but when I'm watching other crafters and I see that, it kind of bugs me just a little bit. And it's fine. It's not that it's just, I don't have the high-tech cameras that a lot of these YouTube personalities do. So if I get my head in there, it's really going to change the focus. And of course, my hair is very thin now from all of my chemo regimen. All right, let me get that over there first. That one's a little bit better. Okay. Then we have the heart, which will go here. So let's go through here, honey. The heart, I'm not even going to tape down. step on me. All right. There's the heart. And if you guys have been with me for a while, you know that I prefer to die cut first, then stamp. That's just me. That's the way my mind works. Now, this circle is going to be for that O. I wonder if this takes out the middle of that. Oh, it's going to take out too much of it. All right, so no, we won't do it that. But that also cuts out the earth, globe, whatever you want to call it. Now, if you watch my Watch It Wednesday, Finish It Friday series, I did do an example with this set on Yesterday on Friday's episode, and I will be showing that tomorrow as one of my examples. So that's what the circle does. Then you have the star. And then you have a few extras here. So I'm wondering if I should do this, if I should try this or not. I'm thinking that this is about the same. No, it's not. I was going to say I could go ahead and run that through just on that magnetic plate, but it's not going to work. So let's go ahead, let's put this down. Let's put these, since these aren't lining up to anything, I don't feel bad just putting them down on here and running them all through at once. Staying far enough of my words though, so that I can go ahead and cut those out for examples. Oh, that star is really, really tiny. You gotta really watch that star. That's one that might run away from you. So let me bring that up here. All right, and let me grab just this little tiny one to grab all of those. All right, and some of them brought up their paper, some of them didn't. So let me go ahead. Yeah, that's the nice thing about the Take Your Pick tool. You can use it to fish out die cuts too. See, this one's just, go ahead and grab that one. Is that all 5? Yes, and I want to make sure the star's still on there, and it is underneath there. Okay, oh geez, too many magnets laying around. So let me go ahead and bring those up so you can see them. These two have a little bit of a cutout on them. Ooh, that one needs to be flipped over. I can tell it's the wrong side. So there you are, guys. Let me go ahead, move some of this over. My My desk is a mess, of course, now. Let me close that up. So let me bring this back out. I'm just going to bring it out on this. So here's some of those die cuts. Here's the rest. You have your, and this is what's left from our stamping. The stamps that don't have coordinating dies. All right, so that's Hope, Joy, and Love. 14, oops, let me scroll back out now. Let me see if I can do this. There we go. So, Hope, Joy, Hope, Love, and Joy, 14-piece stamp, 12-piece die. If you don't mind giving me that thumbs up, share on your social media or with your friends who like stamping and like doing simple cards. Most of all, have a great Saturday. Be safe out there in the cold. Bye for now.